Welcome to King Says So, a channel that advocates for one Africa, one land, one Africa, one language, one Africa, one currency, one Africa, one army. I wish to witness Africans all around the world united as one in our lifetime. Enjoy.
Want to wish everyone uKhisimusi umuhle, and in the main, the provincial chair was taking us into our final year statement. But as part of that, we have also reflected to new developments in the province. We am joined by the provincial secretary of the ANC Women's League, Umamzana. Next to her is the deputy chair of the ANC in the province, Usisnoma Bubu, the provincial chair of the ANC, Tombeni, and the provincial secretary, Comrade Begin Dodo, Comrade Usipo Tomuga, provincial secretary, Kosatu, Kabazena, inclusive of Kabazena. Kwakhe uNokunathi Mdala ubhala umkhonto wesizwe veteran Liberation War veteran wakhe uprovincial secretary we-ANC uComrade Zuma ngale wakhe usihlalo we-ANC ngemuva sino provincial chairperson uComrade Mxolisi wamasotsha nonobhala weKosas unobhala eduze kwanobhala weKosas sinoComrade unobhala weSASCO. We will allow the provincial secretary of the ANC, Comrade Langamandla, to take us through the statement and then interpretation.
Thanks very much, everybody. Our spokesperson, meeting the leadership of the ANC, the ANC officials, from the MK Military Liberation War veterans, Comrade UP, Nation Convener, we wish to sincerely thank we wish to really pass our benefit to you this first we also academic practitioners that staff on the teacher platforms. We express our direct greetings to activists and leaders of the mass democratic movement in all the corners of our province, the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Importantly, our hearts are always with all the people of KwaZulu-Natal who continue to support the ANC, the only party that represents the hope and aspirations and the better future of the people, not only of KwaZulu-Natal. As we begin our press briefing, we wish to indicate that for the record, that is a briefing convened after a meeting of the mass democratic movement of all the structures that we mentioned, which started this morning. It was robust, frank, and attentive. Officials of Regional Executive Committee of the ANC, the South African Communist Party, South African Trade Union, Congress of South African Trade Union, South African National Civic Organization, SANCO, ANC Women's League, Youth League, SASCO, Young Communist League of South Africa, and Congress of South African Students. our meeting, we reflected on the press briefing held by former President Jacob Zuma on the 16th of December 2023. Sholos announced through this press briefing, without utilizing internal processes, that he would vote for a new party called Umkhonto we. And further, all South Africans to vote for this new party. That he said it was formed and this and effectively mobilized for the new party established through his blessings and knowledge. The party was established in September 2023 to oppose the African National Congress. We admitted in our meeting that leaders of the ANC, especially former president, have in the past voiced their concerns about weaknesses in the African National Congress. Former encouraged the ANC and publicly raised concerns about shortcomings of the ANC leaders across all levels. Concerns as well about quality of members. However, it should be noted concern that it is for the first time that in 111 years of the ANC's existence, a former president and an outstanding leader of our movement announces publicly his decision to vote for another political party and effectively campaign for that party, which we view as literally divorcing the ANC and leaving the ANC to another political formation. It is also no exaggeration to state that this is a form of gross ill-discipline. But we remain focused as the African National Congress in KwaZulu-Natal. We note Comrade Msholozi's assertion. We will continue to tell our people that the ANC is still the ANC that they've trusted since 1994. Nothing has changed. Of course, with the appreciation that every member of the ANC come as an individual member, join the organization voluntarily, and leave the organization voluntarily at his or her own behest. Therefore, we also note that this has happened at a time when the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal has been registering a great progress in winning by-elections. Not only winning by-elections, but winning them in a decisive victory. In various by-elections that we have won, we can count, among others, the decisive victory that was registered in Ward 41 in Umsunduzi under Mgungundlovu district, the by-election that we have won in Ward 7 in Mkambatini in the same district Mgungundlovu, the by-election we have won in Ward 101 in eThekwini, our stronghold, the by-election we have also won in Renkonyen Ward 23. In all these by-elections, it is a clear recognition from the people of KwaZulu-Natal, our masses, who are the true assessor of the progress that has been made by the ANC. They have shown through their support in the ballot that the ANC still remains the hope and the protector of their future going forward. We hope that going to 2024, the ANC is still in a better shape, not only to defend the province of KwaZulu-Natal, but to make sure that it contributes significantly for the defense of the revolution in the entire South Africa. But we also want to, the meeting has also wanted, resolved to explain that there must be a difference between the so-called Umkhonto we party and the well-known Umkhonto we that was launched in 16 December 1961. That the simple to differentiate this Umkhonto we that is a new Umkhonto we and is not a genuine Umkhonto we. It's a party disguised to lure voters and members and loyal members of the ANC to think it's the same thing as the Umkhonto we that was formed by the ANC. You would know that for you to join Umkhonto we, you are required first amongst many requirements. The first step, you must be a guerrilla of Umkhonto we. You should have gone underground. You should have a force number. You should know your commander. You should know your cell. You should know your camp at exile. Now for this one, because we've seen also their recruitment forms, they recruit anyone, even my child who was born in 2000, can be part of this new Umkhonto weSizwe. It's a clear sign that this is not a true Umkhonto weSizwe. It's a fake Umkhonto weSizwe. Then we are calling upon our people that Umkhonto weSizwe that is with us today is with the ANC, and they are not in any way campaigning the people to vote against the ANC. They will be in our campaign, working with us door to door, village to village, street by street, house to house, and village to village, campaigning the people of KwaZulu-Natal to vote the ANC. And we are happy with the reception we are receiving from the people of KwaZulu-Natal that they still have hope in the ANC. And we will demonstrate this on the 24th of February this year, when we will fill up Moses Mapita Stadium in the Maishome rally that will be launched by the African National Congress, which will be addressed by our Commander-in-Chief, President Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa, the President of the ANC. Thank you very much.
No, thank you, Comrade Unobala, for that reflection, which comes from all of us in the mass democratic movement. We will then take this opportunity and allow members of the fourth estate to raise any question if they are any. I will start from my left hand side, and then I will simply give you numbers. You will be number 1, be number 2, 3, and then you will be number 4. Number 1.
Hi, Paddy Harper, Mail and Guardian. Two thanks for the question. You say that the former president has against the ANC. Do you see a need for the party to take any form of disciplinary action on the offences that he's committed? And secondly, how does this impact on his standing as an office president of one of the MDM by extending Sanko itself? How do the formations deal with it?
Thank you. Number 2.
My name is Busi Kuman from SABC News. Mine is also similar to the it's about any disciplinary measures that the party might take in relation to what has just happened regarding Zuma.
Thank you. Number 3.
It's Clive Ndolo from the Witness newspaper. We saw a few days ago the ANC Veteran Association Deputy President Zuma announcing his resignation from the ANC, then a few days later retracting his termination of membership after engaging the ANC leadership. In the case of former President Jacob Zuma, is this current leadership here seated in front of us of the view that there is room for engagement and for persuasion for him to reverse his decision? Thanks.
Thank you. Spamandla.
Discipline. That's how you describe it in Ghana. I'm calling for expulsion of the former president based on that cross ill discipline. Number 2, political analysts are predicting and saying this controversy the party is going to eat into the electoral support of the ANC was on that. They wanted about those predictions and prospects.
Thank you very much. We'll then allow the panel, but let me do this so that we move. We'll take the question about Ubab Mavuso and other veteran and give it to the deputy chair. We'll come with others. Deputy chair, Ubab Mavuso. Ubab Mavuso, which I nearly pinned the right. The same position.
All right. No, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, Comrade Mavuso resigned. He was engaged. There were bilaterals between him and the African National Congress. And as we know, even before Ubab Mavuso resigned, there were people who left the ANC and joined other political parties. there were splinter organizations that came from the African National Congress. Majority of those people were engaged even after they had formed parties, and more than half of them have come back to the ANC. So in terms of engagements are always open. Even after people have left, engagements are always open, and people have always had an opportunity to come back. That is why, as the ANC, from time to time, we also go out and recruit, because as part of our recruitment process is also to engage those that were members of the ANC but had left and engage them to come back. So yes, engagements will always be open, but that is something that will be discussed at a level of national. I wanted to speak to the issue of Sanco. Yeah. There's a question that says, what is going to be the position now that Ungamalala has indicated, as he did on Saturday? I think Sanco is going to have its own media briefing. They are an organization on their own. They will be having their own engagements, and they will pronounce according to what their constitution says. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deputy Chair. We'll call the Deputy Provincial Secretary, Comrade Klomuga, to deal with whether we are worried about losing election because of a new formation.
No, thank you very much, leadership, media from the media. We are receiving number of members from the opposition. We are receiving from members from IFP, EFF, DA. That means the ANC is increasing. The PS Pressure Secretary have indicated in the statement that we've won 9 with decisive 101 at eThekwini. At Mkambatini, we've won our ward. We can't have a challenge with numbers. Even those that thought they are going to take over the province, now they've realized that it's not what they thought it will be. In Mkambatini, the IFP received 1 vote in one of the VT. That shows that people, they are rejecting the IFP. It's there in the IEC. I'm telling you what is written there. So if really we are worried in terms of if we lose any member or any supporter to any organization, ordinarily, be it is myself or it's other whoever, but we are certain that the ANC is going to win general national and provincial election the next year. So don't stress. We are coming back as an ANC. We are working as an alliance. That's why you see alliance here. Each and every component is mobilizing for the ANC. We are commanded by the president of the ANC, President Ramaphosa. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Comrade Deputy Secretary. We'll call the Provincial Secretary to deal. Are you calling for the expulsion of the former president of the ANC?
I will not focus Pamans. Not really. Remember, when you are married, and then your wife says, I still love you, but you have married to another man. There's no need for divorce. He has already divorced you. Then you will be engaging in a futile exercise. He's already chosen his path. But what we can say is that, of course, as Shlomuga was saying, that it is our duty that we must gain as more members as possible. If we lose one member, each member in a branch, not known by anyone, to us, that member has got a value. If that member leaves and comes back, we say it's a good thing. Because, for example, you would have seen in the statement that Comrade JZ says he has been a member of the ANC for 64 years. Even if you know his age, literally that 64 years is the best That's what he knows. I know it's gonna be very difficult to. It's very difficult to start a new life, because firstly, he must have to start a slogan of saying wrong things about the ANC, which to him is going to be impossible. Because if he can easily say wrong things about the ANC, even people who thought he was ANC will start to doubt how so quick. You see, if for example I've been a member of this for more than 20 years, you'd have to take me more than 5 years to believe that the ANC is wrong. If I leave the ANC now, it have to take me 5 years to believe that the ANC is wrong. Now, for him, for now until May or June or July or August, the last day, it's going to be difficult for him to tell people how wrong the ANC is, because he has known the ANC nothing else but the ANC.
So follow up, and if he does decampaign the ANC, he does say that, but the ANC really high.
Yeah.
What happens there?
Okay, no, it's fine. We'll if it does deal with that, and secondly, Comrade Chairperson, probably where do we stand in the issue of the sitting president of the ANC? Then let the chair deal with that, Chairperson.
Thank you so much, our spokesperson, Ngwane. Let us greet the 40 stage, the media, and the leadership that is seated in front of here. We are delighted that you are in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, Tegwin in particular, during the festivities of December. We are glad that you still have an interest on what is happening in the ANC, the leading organization, and the leader of the society, so the leader of the alliance. We are glad that the entire alliance is present here. I'm sure we must just highlight the historical imperative evidence that even Madiba in the early 90s and when he took over in 94, there was some lamentation from the certain set of the society as to why Madiba is no longer so robust when it comes to the issue of economic transformation. You'll remember that very well. It was the same. It also transited towards Thabo Mbeki's presidency. He was also blamed of failing dismally to ascertain the issue of the land transformation. It was the same with Ngamalala. He was also blamed and lambasted for having failed to lift the matter of economic transformation. So it's the same with President Ramaphosa. But we want to assure you that as the province of KwaZulu-Natal, we're fully behind the Commander-in-Chief, President Ramaphosa is this province. We are fully behind it. As the face of the campaign going to 2024, we are going to achieve victory. The president, the provincial secretary has already highlighted that he will be addressing in KwaZulu-Natal during the manifesto launch because he is the face of the ANC. On the issue of ill discipline, I'm sure you're also aware that President Ngamalala, when immediately was elected as the president, it means in terms of our constitution, he holds a befitting office of being an ex officio towards the NEC. So he's the property of the NEC, not the province of KwaZulu-Natal. As the province of KwaZulu-Natal, we've supported all the means and needs for a revolutionary trooping process, but we are clinical in this process that we are going to be fully behind our NEC led by Matamela. The SG has already highlighted a lot of achievements that have been achieved historical by the ANC and what we are going to achieve going forward. Thank you so much. What?
Siyabonga, Sihlalo. Mhlambe, before I close, I would like to allow the chairperson of Amasoja to have a brief reflection, and then I will come back. I will come back to the follow-up.
Thank you to everyone, and greeting to the leadership of the ANC and the Alliance, and greeting to the media people. No, actually, I will be very brief myself because already our ANC have made a statement. So, as we are still in the ANC up until maybe then I'm not saying there will be maybe, but actually what the posture which the NEC have taken, that we are still in the NEC, there is nothing that have engaged in our structures. We still are supporting the ANC, and we will support the ANC up until the election and moving forward. That's all I want to say. I thank you.
Chairman, Siyabonga. Maybe I will take the last round. I will again, the principle is to always start on the left because left is revolutionary. You will be number one. Is there any other hand? I'm taking the last round. Number one, number two, and then you will sweep as per mandla. Number one.
Kumnandi Dube is my name. I am from the Kumnandi Dube show on YouTube. Former President Jacob Zuma is a man that has faced many, many challenges. And ANC independent has been one of his strongest supporters. That's a man of that. And he has now divorced himself from the organization in the way that he can. Do you feel that he has let you down? And do you regret your decision to support him in the way that you supported him over the years when it was so good?
Number two.
Okay, just to get your reaction regarding Zuma's comments that he made on the leadership of the ANC, calling them as people are leading government that is laden with apartheid collaborators. Yeah, just that, and also if you are really concerned and worried about the latest development regarding Zuma, how is it?
Thank you. Spamanda.
Superman from the EMCA again. There are a number of things that the former president is raising, and some of those include that he says Umbuto Katambo is no longer the same. He says the party is taking a new direction, there are foreign and new tendencies. Have you reflected on some of the things he raised about the direction that the EMC, according to him, has taken? And some of those were raised by Obama. Have you reflected on this? Are you still happy with the cause and the direction that you is taking?
Thank you. The first question,
Of call is to say, let's go and consult with our elders. And those that have led before us, we always consider them as people who are able to provide us with guidance. And every time you go to any of them, including Unwamalala, by the way, as we would go to him, he would be able to, he would often tell us that the challenges you are faced with have always been there or within the ANC in one form or the other. Therefore, you must be able to stay the course.
By some anger. You sometimes you say things you don't mean. I will tell you why. Let's start with the national executive of the country, for example. If you got the current president of the country, he was appointed by President Zuma in 2014 as the deputy president of the republic. That it tells you that with his experience, somebody who was part of the director of intelligence in the ANC, who have been in underground, who was elected in the ANC in 1973 at his mid-30s. There's no way you would betray the struggle and the revolution to appoint an apartheid collaborator. Then we trust him. He could not have done that. For him to appoint him, to give him that responsibility, we are clear that at least you come to the deputy president, he once appointed him a minister of arts and culture, which is the highest honor. In any country to be appointed in the national executive is the highest honor an individual can be bestowed by head of state in that country. Then we are sure he could not have done that. It would have been betrayal of the revolution. You can go to Mantashe, he was his SG for 2 terms. And then there's no way he could trust that the organization at the engine at that level, he can be president with an SG who's a collaborator. Then it clears the matters. You go to the first DSG, Comrade Nomvula, same thing. He was appointed, was a premier at some point, was a minister of water and sanitation. You go to Mbalula. In fact, Mbalula was once a minister of police. You can't give someone a minister of police as a head of state, as a commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Yet you are giving somebody who's an apartheid collaborator. And if you look at the cabinet, the national executive, almost less than 30% people who have not been appointed by Comrade Zuma. Then for that evidence, and for that, what I'm explaining, it tells you that maybe it was a slip of the tongue, maybe whatever that he said, but I don't think he means it himself, because if he means it, some of us would be worried with this someone we trusted so much as the ANC, but he betrayed the revolution of appointing apartheid collaborators in various key institutions of state in the cabinet. Thank you.
Thank you, Nopala. Comrade Stal, is the ANC still the same or no longer the same?
Thank you so much, Baba Koke. I'm sure you understand the issue of organic principle and the evolution in any historical matter. I'm sure the ANC is the same. It was developed, manufactured, the concept at effort in 1909. In 1912, there was a conference. And you will also understand on the formulation, Amakos were at the center, Abafundis were at the center, and those who were educated, the teachers of that time, were at the center. It had to evolve at some point in time to be a mass organization. I'm sure you know that it started in the early 40s, and when the ANC Youth League of Anthony Lembede stood and have a program of action, it had to change and take some strategic movement. But the ANC is still the same. In 91, it came in the province of KwaZulu-Natal with the National Conference, or Tambo, delivered as a solid organization, united. Amongst other things, he analyzes that the material condition, when you take over the state, there will be some dimension, there will be some changes, which is why you must also understand that you have a two in one. We've got the liberation movement, the ANC, then you have an ANC as a ruling party. Of course, from time to time, you'll find some fundamental pillars of us advancing and coherently in ensuring that we change people's life, which is why we've built houses, we've built bridges, we've documented even the proper history of South Africa as a country. We, at some point in time, went international relations in ensuring that we defend even those, like the issue of Palestine as we speak. It is still the same ANC, which is why Comrade President Ramaphosa is able to see and tell Macron that you are the cause of perpetuating crime against humanities in this generation, which is why President Ramaphosa is able to tell Benjamin Netanyahu that what you are doing is not correct. You are still perpetuating apartheid regime against the country called Palestine. So we are still there. Of course, you'll see some new changes because ANC, as it develops, it will attract other things. So it's not correct. It's not a correct narrative because it was said during Zuma's era that the ANC has changed. We defied that. It was said during Madiba that it was changed. So we are saying that, of course, ANC as a movement on its own is able to cleanse and its own is able to critique, then always come up with a galvanized strategy of ensuring that we lead the people in a true format as the ordinary South African citizen are enjoying the privilege that was fought for our liberators. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Comrade Chair. With that, we hope to invite you next year, May, in a massive press conference where we'll announce, where we'll be swearing in fact, the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal after our decisive victory, which we are going to increase with 5%. Siyabonga, nambeka. Oh, it's Zulu. Can you just do one on one? Yeah, you'll do one on one. Yeah? La? Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah. Yeah? Yeah? No, tonight we don't plan so yet so much. I got John. Now we don't plan yet so much.
Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the content, leave your thoughts on the comment section and hit the like and subscribe button, and we will meet on the next one.